Hi everyone, today is July 27, 2022. It is 3:45 p.m. and 24 degrees Celsius. Right in front of us we have Toronto's first post office ever. And we're going to take a closer look here. It's number 260, it says post office. And here's a sign that says Toronto's first post office, museum, gift shop, and full-service post office. Open 7 days a week. Operated by the Town of York Historical Society. And here's a figure of a horse on a stand. There's some interesting flowers. Let's take a look at the plaque here. York Post Office. Originally, all post offices in Upper Canada were owned by the postmasters in charge, who were imperial appointments. This building was constructed for Postmaster James Scott Howard during 1833 to 1835 and functioned as the town's post office until Howard's dismissal in 1837. A typical example of a small public building of the time, combining public offices with a private residence, it survives as a rare example of an early Canadian post office. In 1876, it was incorporated into the present block of buildings. The mansard roof is a later addition. And here's another building. It says De La Salle Institute Building, 1871. Closer look. Look up. And it says up there, it says De La Salle Institute, erected AD 1871. Looks like they've kept it in pretty good condition over the years, or I should say over the century. And this building here is the Bank of Upper Canada building. So I get a look from the front. And there's a plaque here. Let's take a look at what the plaque says. It says the Bank of Upper Canada building. Let's take a closer look. Chartered in 1821, the Bank of Upper Canada was, until its demise in 1866, one of British North America's leading banks. It played a significant role in the development of Upper Canada, supplying currency, protecting savings, and making loans, and aided Toronto's rise as the commercial center of the colony. This building, opened in 1827, was the second home of the bank. Its design reflects the image of conservative opulence favored by financial institutions of the time. The portico, designed by John G. Howard, a leading architect of the period, was added about 1844. This building also looks like it's being very well kept. And we're now here at Adelaide Street and George Street. Here's the side of the building. And there's a condo minion building next door. There's another relatively new condo, though this one's been here for many years. Building across the street there says Moriyama and Tsushima. There's the George Street Diner. That's been here as long as I can remember. We're now walking north on George Street, and we're at Richmond Street. Here's the Nicholas Metivier Gallery. Let's see if I get a closer look. Take a look at the sign. And here's a mural on the side of the Petro Canada gas station. Here's the Consulate General for the Republic of Indonesia. See if I can turn the tilt mode off. Or tilt lock mode, I should say. It's a very warm day here in Toronto. It's a little tiny bit muggy, but it's less so than it's been in the past while. Here's the Canadian Venture Building. And there's a Domino's Pizza across the street. To the west of which is a Golden Thai restaurant. Here's some jewelry stores and pawn shops. Here's a Henry's store. They have all kinds of camera equipment. And we're out here at Church Street and Queen Street. And we're now walking west on Queen Street. There's a Metropolitan United Church across the street. I hope everyone's enjoying their week. It is a Wednesday evening here in Toronto. now here at Yonge and Queen Street. Here's a look up north on Yonge Street. Here's a look south on Yonge Street. Here's the Bank of Montreal across the street. And there's the Elgin and Winter Garden Theatre Centre. Let's re-center here. Alright, set the camera on follow.
Yeah, it is a job for
There's the sign.
Yeah. But at the same time, have a great one.
I would like to take the time to extend a special thank you out to my viewers and subscribers. Thank you for watching my videos and subscribing to my channel and for supporting me. I will continue to try my best to make as highest quality content as I can for you guys to the best of my abilities. Here's Yonge Street and Shooter Street. And there's a look east down Shooter Street. And you can see the Massey Hall building in the relatively near distance. And there's the Li Ka-shing walkway that connects the St. Michael's Hospital to the building across from it. Here's another one of these murals that is drawn on a traffic control box. So I get a view from around it. Looks like there's some spiders here on this side. There's some otters here on this side. And there's some bumblebees on this side. And here's Nordstrom. Here's a look of what the building looks like. There's Paramount Middle Eastern Kitchen and Downtown Jewelry Mart, where they offer all kinds of jewelry and repair services. There's a place called Khazana by Chef Sanjeev Kapoor. Here's the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child theme at this theater. This is the Ed Mirvish Theatre at 263 Yonge Street. There's a Popeyes. And we can now see Dundas Square in the near distance. Looks like a fairly busy day here to Dundas Square. The sign from Youth Day Toronto is still up on the stage. Here's one of these cool unicycle or uni-wheel devices. And here's a look west on Dundas Street. There's quite a bit of people out here today, and some are taking pictures. Here's a look north up Yonge Street. Here's a look south on Yonge Street. There's some more people with uni wheels. Those are pretty cool. Pictures. Here are the fountains. There's a cool animation playing on the giant LED screen. Let's cross over here. Here's a person selling comics of all kinds. All kinds of jewelry, accessories, pictures. And here's Joey Eaton Centre. They've got one of 3 windows open. Yeah, this window closed and the 3rd window closed. Usually they'll either have all 3 open or all 3 closed at the same time. But today they're doing it that way, and that's the way it is. Here's some very interesting yellow flowers. Those are very unique. There's the new Uncle Tetsu store. Across the street, they've got Japanese cheesecake. They used to be located over there on that side of the street, north on Bay, north on Bay, north of Dundas. And there used to be very long lineups there. Here's the Market supermarket by Longo's, and this they got a Starbucks in there. There's the City Hall building. Here's a store called Snapture This. They have paper goods, gifts, and florals. Here's the Pokey guys. Here's a small little park-like area. And there's a plaque there. Let's go closer to take a better look. It says Jean Lumb, CM, 1919 to 2002. Here's an electric car charging spot. This is pretty interesting. It says Flow. Here's a sign that says Welcome to Diversity Garden. This kid-inspired park was made possible through the funding and volunteer power of Index Exchange, the City of Toronto, Kaboom, and this community. Here's a street that you don't see often called Hagerman Street. There's the CN Tower off in the distance. Here's the City Hall building. This is a unique view that you rarely see. We're now on the northern outer boundary of Nathan Phillips Square. Here's a statue and some plaques. This one says Toronto's first Chinatown. Here's a look at the map. Here's a closer look at the text. Here's a second plaque. It's amazing how they've been able to preserve these images as historical records for such a long period of time. And there's this work here. This is a public art installation that says Peace Through Valour. It says the Italian-Canadian community dedicates this memorial to the more than 93,000 Canadians who took part in the Italian campaign of World War II. So here's a statue of Winston Churchill. 1874 to 1965. And around this statue, there's these other plaques. Here's some quotes from Winston Churchill. Just if I get my camera on follow mode. There we go. And there's a plaque right here. Just we get a closer look at the writing. It's hard to see whether or not, or how clear my camera is showing the text, but I hope that when the video comes out, it'll be very clear and legible and readable. Here's some more plaques about Winston Churchill. This one is Winston Churchill, the artist. This one says Winston Churchill, Toronto in Canada. Here's Winston Churchill as world leader. And here's Winston Churchill, parliamentary democracy. Here's another plaque. This one here says Churchill Memorial Landscaping Enhancements. And here's another look at the statue. I just had a chance to catch up on old times with a good friend of mine that I haven't seen in a while, and that was pretty cool. And you can hear the bell from the old City Hall clock tower. Here's the courthouse. And this looks like it's quite influenced by brutalism, or the brutalism architecture style. And there's Sheraton Hotel. Here's another public artwork. It says, every individual is equal before and under the law and has the right to the equal protection and equal benefit of the law without discrimination. And it shows a lion and what looks like a lamb on the other side of a plank balanced in the middle. Here's the Law Society of Upper Canada at 130 Queen Street West. Law Society of Ontario. Hey, these are the same flowers that we saw at the beginning of this video where I was filming the first post office in Toronto. And they're doing some construction here at the space between Nathan Phillips Square in the Law Society of Ontario. There's Sheraton Hotel. Straight ahead. And here it says the Sharaton Centre.
Wonder why? 9/11?
And here's a look west on Queen Street. We're now walking into Sheraton Hotel. During the pandemic, they did quite a bit of renovations. Here's the automatic revolving doors. There's this new wall that they have here. Here's where one would check in. Here's 43 down. Everything's very clean. And very high quality. Here's the waterfall. What's new here is this beekeeping section here where they've got beekeeping hives, or hives that they manage. It says bees at work at the Sheraton. So it says the hive shelters 50,000 bees and produces 15 kilos of honey per year. And these are the 3 types of bees that they have. There's the advantages of urban beekeeping, the inconveniences of an agricultural environment, and what happens in the winter. So I thought this was very cool and share-worthy that I want to share with you guys. Here's a look at the beehives. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look up the ceiling. And I'm going to use the washroom, and I will be right back. And here's the elevators that take you to the suites. Let's take this exit out here. Overall, I think the Sheraton Hotel is a great hotel. And everything's very clean. Everything looks like it's high quality. The air conditioning was on, so the air was pretty cool in there, which always helps on the hot summer days in Toronto. This building here is called the Graphic Arts Building. Looks like it's a very old building. As you can see, there's a lot of traffic here traveling in the west direction. So maybe this is all the people who are living in the West End and travel to get to work in downtown. Now they are heading back home after a day's work. It is 5:18 p.m. right now, so that makes sense. And there's an artwork inside this building. Let me see if I can walk in and get a view. And it says Henry Moore, three-way piece, #1. Here's the small little name plaque. There we go. I really like this piece. Not because I know anything about it, but because it looks very abstract and cool. And let's head out. Here we go. Through the revolving doors we go. I'll see if I can find some more information about that artwork and put it up as an information board in this video. What do you guys think about those information boards that I put up? Do you like them? Should I keep them? Should I continue? Should I not continue? Let me know what you guys think. For me, I personally like them because I value adding things that are educational to my videos. It makes them different, but it also helps my viewers learn more about what they're seeing and what they're learning about. Here's a pretty long piece of cargo on this truck. And across the street here we have a Good Life Fitness that's open 24 hours. Let's cross the street and take a look at the building while we're at it. It's nice to see everyone out and about after the pandemic, and places starting to get more and more traffic, and people are being more outgoing, and they're getting out and getting some fresh air. Here's Adelaide Street. Here's a look west on Adelaide Street. Here's a look east. We're now walking south on Yonge Street. Here's the Adelaide Courtyard. Looks like they have a work of art here on the wall. Let's take a closer look. Here's a sign that says Adelaide Courtyard. And it says, this privately owned, publicly accessible space is provided by GWL Realty Advisors in partnership with the City of Toronto. So it's very nice of them that even though they own this property and space privately, they've allowed to make it accessible by the public. And so here's a work of art that's on tiles, and when you zoom out you get the whole picture, and when you zoom in there's individual tiles. And so this is a pretty cool piece. And here's another piece using the same kind of medium and these tiles. It's hard to make out which street this is, but it's probably a street in Toronto, and probably a historical photograph that they are showing in the image. Here's a sign that says "Rollin' with my homies," and it looks like it's the crowd of people who are dressed formally. Here's an entrance to Basil Box. Looks like there's a fountain up here. Let's take a look. I've got a little bit of battery left in my camera. Let's see if we could get all these designs and public artworks before I end this video. This looks like a flower with water splashing from the middle. There's a fountain with some metal bars around it. That's pretty cool. And there's an artwork on the wall of this building. But yeah, this interesting. It's like this fountain with this structure around it. And this thing here looks like a tree trunk with its roots extending outwards. And moving up halfway, the tree trunk is spinning. And there's water spinning in the air and falling down on the ground around it. That's pretty interesting. That was my first time seeing those public works of art. And here's some glass panels which seem to form another public work of art. I'm looking around to see if I can find a plaque that would give us more information about this particular work. But there is none in sight. There's a sign for the Adelaide Courtyard. Nope, I do not see a plaque for this work of art. If I do see one online, I will put it up for you guys as an information board. Here's Victoria Tower. Speaking of the first post office in Toronto, look at what this street is called. What a coincidence. It is called, let me let go of the lock here, zoom in. There we go. It says Old Post Office Lane. That's pretty cool. Here's a building with a gate, and it says Morgan, Megan and Associates Investment Management. I'm guessing this is Old Post Office Lane here that the sign is referring to, which is very coincidental, given that at the beginning of this video we saw the first post office in Toronto. There's Ergocentric showroom and store. And it looks like they have a lot of different kinds of chairs that are all focused on better ergonomics. Here's the King Edward Hotel. Here's a close-up at the plaque. This hotel has been here for pretty much as long as I can remember.
So I was put like concerning one.
That's what I want.
Here's the Artaris Gallery.
The IKEA one, yeah. But its price is like $100.
There's an art gallery.
Like, you'd think, like,
Hey, look at this. Look what this plaque says here on this building. It says, on this site, York's first jail. York is what the city of Toronto was called a long time ago. And it says in 1798, there's a better look. In 1798, the town of York, now Toronto, erected its first jail and hanging yard on this site, also known as the Old Log Gaol. It was still standing when York opened a newer jail in 1827, and which was demolished later in 1960, on the northeast corner of King and Toronto streets. The first person to be executed here was John Sullivan on October 11, 1798, convicted of stealing a forged note worth about $1. This plaque was donated by Le Royal Meridien King Edward Hotel, a Bruce Bell History Project 2005. That's pretty intense stuff. This is where the first jail and hanging site was in Toronto. And that's about 220 years ago. Here's Bluestone Lane, coffee shops and cafes. Here's an east entrance into the King Edward Omni Hotel. Here's also another entrance, though this one is the King Edward Private Residences entrance. And my battery's close to running out. Let me see how much I can get before it finally does run out. Here's a cool restaurant. It looks very beautiful. There's a very beautiful yellow color to it that I feel can only be appreciated by seeing this restaurant in person. It says PJ O'Brien Irish Pub and Restaurant. It's beautiful yellow and blue colors. Let's go around and take a look at the sides. It says brunch, lunch, dinner, snacks. Wow, look at all this yellow paint here. And my battery's about to die soon, so I will wrap this up here. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell notification icon for more content like this, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.